Blessings, everyone. This is Mary Bridget O'Donoghue, and I'm here with the absolutely beautiful, amazing Rua Murtada, and we are checking in um, under the banner of the Queens of Peace, having these conversations. This is our first one, myself and Rua and I, um, having conversations on the back of, from the birth of the Queens of Peace. And um, just knowing that what was forged between us, what was channeled between us, has created like an internal movements and rebirthings, and the words are hard for me to find. So I'm just trusting, we're all trusting in our togetherness and in everyday living, that the dissemination of our clarification is coming, and the words will come, and the presence, more importantly, of course, the presence, the clarified presence that we have received from that special moment of the Queens of Peace. But every moment we are birthing special moments all the time with so many people. But just definitely giving honor to the 12 of us who are together and moving forward now with this presence, and all that has been absorbed, remembered, is now disseminating and emanating from us. Okay. So we both have our white sage today, Rua and I.
Yes, I keep
Seems to
liking
be
it.
a thing. So Rua, you are so welcome within the
Thank you,
womb room.
Mary. Thank
The
you for
womb room
having
has
me.
changed. It is very colorful and full of life. So what once felt like a space of like embracing healing feels much more like a space of vibrant beginnings. And the womb is always about for beginning and ignition, but it is just feels more, it feels like a paint box. It feels like gemstones. It feels like dark soil with sparkling gold. It just feels lively. So, and creational. And like there's nothing beneath our feet except um, just this pure uprising of our blueprint.
Yeah, it feels like a just a very deep remembrance of how how to create. You know,
Mm,
it's like a remembering something that's so deeply buried and is just coming up now.
mm,
Um, and that gathering felt like a remembrance, a beautiful sisterhood gathering of like everyone being completely there, fully present and open, and
mm.
um, seeing each other and remembering each other. That's how it felt. Um, and like you said, there are no words for what actually happened there. It just exceeds description, but
Yeah.
um, it was just so beautiful. And and after that, it seems like we were saying that now it is a paint box and we have to be fully present with ourselves all the time. Because then if we're not, you're still creating, and then you see um, you know um, your creation. So if you don't like it, just go back a step. And yeah, presence is so important with our thoughts and feelings, and because we have it all now, it's just there available, and it's beautiful. It's very exciting.
That is beautiful. And presence and that blueprint, because it is vast what we are remembering ourselves to be. Everyone that is here at this time, part of our gorgeous little team, which is worldwide, of people I've yet to meet, and people I can feel that we can feel and have not even met. Um, all of us that are here at this time with the heart that says that, with the frustration and the, we are ending this way and we are beginning a new way. And we are also then the heart that's humble enough to realize, oh, oops, we
Yeah.
created all of that. So, we can actually rebirth. So it's like, it's a heart of real authority, born through the fire, born through realizing that it was our absence that led to so much suffering. And now it is our presence that's going to lead to the colorful heaven upon earth. And speaking of the word presence, I want to speak of the castle itself
Oh, wow.
because when we were walking back
Still
and
like a
you showed,
dream to me.
I know, like, oh my God, how did we get in here? That is the value of a smile and a twinkle in the eye. You can make anything happen. So when we were walking home,
As simple
and
as that.
as simple as that, when we were walking back to our rooms, and I just want to speak to this for a moment because it's really feeling dense. I knew that the weight, the presence, the structure of that castle would be necessary for us, for what was coming through, to be held. That is a limestone castle with crystal quartz, white quartz within the limestone. It's a powerful building. And if you don't mind me sharing, that Rua's room was right in the old castle. I think, most of the
One.
rooms were like, yeah, one room, 111 in the main castle. I was like, oh, wow, she has landed. Whatever she is, she has landed. And it very much felt like, yeah, I just wonder, would you want to talk to that? Like, it felt like there was a real depth of arriving and landing for you with coming to Ireland and being brought into your room in the main cast.
It did feel like a reclamation, but
Mm,
like Ireland, I've always had a connection with. I've always had something, within me that I loved it. I love Ireland. And, I drove from Dublin to where the castle is, and that is about 2.5 hours. And shortly after settling on the road, I started crying. It was just like tears all the way for almost 2 hours. And I've put on my playlist on Spotify just to listen. And, I have some, you know, sacred dance music or whatever, but I had not, some of the songs I don't even remember being there. And it was all about mother and home and mother
mm.
and home. And it was just like, all the way there, I was like, oh, I've come home, and then I'm like crying. So it did feel
Mm,
like it just was so magical. And then, yeah, it's like reclaiming back ourselves and reclaiming our
mm,
um, tone and
mm.
remembering, how
Yeah,
we used to create and how we create because we create all the time. It's just, we're now present to notice it and
mm,
realize that it is all here,
yeah.
and we are the ones commanding it, and it's just yeah, it's amazing.
I love this. And when you're talking about that drive home and everything, the symphony is just exquisite, right? It is like a love song bringing us home. So those songs coming on for you. And when I think of like what we're doing as the women are moving, and there's more and there will be more as the women are moving, and I want everyone moving. I want everyone coming together, women and men, of course, and children. But this was specific to the women because it was about reconnecting, like the waterways, the song lines. And I've said before, I was very moved in Cork when the peace World Peace gathering was on. I was moved by all of it, but when the women came, the grandmothers came in, I was very moved by that because I know what it means, what it takes for a woman to leave her place. And it's like I could feel the land of her place. I could feel the water of her place. I could feel her place in her coming, you know. And when we came, that's just a little side note. I just wanted to speak that, but that there's a very real power, transformative power when women move, um, and seeing the waterways, the song lines, the memory lines coming back into this one particular convergence point of Dromoland Castle at this time. That was our chose, like that was where the magnet, where the heart called us. Um, that's what I see from that is like everything opening. So it's these connections are already there. We're just opening them, and the magnetism works to call the water, call the rivers, the memories to it. So finding when each one of us finds that magnetic point, and that came to me in Dromoland Castle, it hits in the heart. And then if we to be present enough now then to share that from now on, and just speaking this into the field as a blueprint, to be present enough to share that from now on. And people do this, but I'm just speaking this especially to, because it can be hard to know, like, how do I generate something that means something to me? How do I make something happen that I actually care about? Get the heart, feel the pull in the heart, and then speak the truth of it. And like it opens up and it pulls in the waterways to it, right? And I also just want to say that, next time you should have a driver
So I can cry as much as I
so
want.
you can cry in
Just
peace.
focus on the cry.
Yeah, I would like to put that into the blueprint that all the queens have drivers
Yes.
and really comfortable cars so that we can cry in peace and dream in peace and whatever else. Just like to add that in, little finer
Yes.
detail.
Why
It
not?
is like that is important because we want to do what we're doing, and we will. But like we were joking, I was saying, maybe we've had enough of jumping over walls, breaking into derelict castles. Maybe we've had enough of that.
Yeah,
Having
it's
cups
time
of
to
tea
do it in
on,
style now.
yeah, on stone circles. Like that's a way, but maybe we could imagine a different way. Yeah,
We
comfort.
can. Yeah, it's like part of us is is
Oh,
is still catching up and thinking, could that be it? Like, could it be really
yeah,
that easy? Is that even possible? Could it be that there's no more hardship? Like, really?
yeah,
And then
yeah.
the heart is saying, yes, it can actually just believe it and imagine it and
Mm.
put your energy into it and it will
Wow,
be.
I love this, and this brings me on. This is really important because um the idea. There's no other way of saying this than to actually with humor, but there are a lot of people who like and expect women to suffer. So the notion of women saying that there's no hardship is unsettling, to say the least. And that's fine. We're going to walk our way through that now, because what I wanted to say is oh, I've lost myself. Yes, what we were just speaking earlier, this is really interesting. So if we are, placing ourselves in our full blueprint, which is the interdimensional signal of mother is home, mother is home, as you cried your way through. Beautiful tears, beautiful tears. Mother is home. That's our interdimensional signal. The end of dimensions. That is the presence that negates the absence. Well, the presence that fills in the absence, the presence that is now healing what was done in the absence of the Immaculate Mother, that crystal pin drop, the song line that begins all song lines. So, if in that standing we believe in hardship, we are sending that signal. We are holding the signal of hardship into the field. And we spoke about this, I just want to speak about this changeover of hormones. How, like, I truly felt after our Queens of Peace, as we were sitting there in the drawing room, which is the room that was designated for women to do exactly what we were doing. And so I want to say that there is rooms designated for women to do exactly what we were doing. This has been a method, a known essential beginning method of the weaving of reality, to give women their space and their comfort to dream. Well, not give women, for women to, it just is, it's just been a part of the layout of things, that there are spaces for women to create the dreaming. And we never give up those spaces, even if it was just silent prayer, one woman by herself at nighttime by her bed, or if it was the women at the full moon in the forest in a circle. We were still always trying to create the undercurrent. We were always trying to reclaim the undercurrent, the operating song, so people could feel the love and peace of Sophia, of Sophianic belonging. But what I noticed is a move from now, as when we were realizing, okay, well, we are the interdimensional signal of the field that holds the field, but it's moved now because the mother signal from the white diamond crystal of Andromeda has landed a few nights ago. And when I say that that presence has landed, it is now an operating frequency that can run through the heart. So it will not be pillars of women holding in incredible, being attacked, like literally having a shield and having this beautiful song pillar inside, and having to like hold the gate closed, and all of what it has been as we were forging to get to this point. It will be a thread between hearts that is remembered, so the mother can actually be brought into compassion now. And the presence of the Father's heart, which grounded at the Queens of Peace, is allowing this co-regulation between the compassionate heart and the immaculate heart, Father and the Mother, the heartbeat and the heart's truth, innocence. And what I am witnessing is, instead of this adrenalized field, I'm witnessing the field of oxytocin, that hormone that creates belonging, like togetherness and a feeling of safety.
Yeah.
I said a lot there, Rua, and so I don't ask you to answer any of that because I really just rambled. But whatever you want to say, please.
Just when you said the mother's home, it just felt like, and mentioning the waters are, they're always connected with whatever we're talking about. It's just, I feel that we're invited to, by the mother, to kind of see where we're, where we still have bits we need to look at, where we still have leaks, that they need to be repaired. And for us to witness that, see it, and then decide, yes, this needs to be done. That's it. Or I don't want this in my experience anymore. This is it, and that's coming more clearly for me. That it's all within us, and her presence now within us is like quite powerful, that it is bringing up everything that we need to see and release, so that we can create from the paint box, like you said, from with a blank, with a white page, and just do whatever you want, with it.
Yeah.
Just dream, dream. What do you want to dream? And then there's this, like I said to you before, there's a shift, like within me, and I know everyone has that, at their own time, and like a mental shift where, you know, the mind is coming on board. It's like, you know, is like noticing, okay, enough of the old, you know, you're you know, I can see you want to you know, ramble about things, but don't you want to like create something? Aren't you bored? You know, come on, let's do something new. You know, what shall we create? Because you're a partner with this.
Mm.
And then the dreaming starts. You know, just unleash that and then see what comes up, and it's beautiful. You know, with that beautiful intention. You know, and the highest good of all. You know, it feels like we have already created that. You know, and we're just remembering it. I don't know, like for a moment that's how it felt, but just whatever you imagine, it's there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, the power of that that really hit me last night when I had to really reassess like you said, this weeding, repairing the leaks of you know, taking myself out of and inviting all others to take ourselves out of, they call it the drama triangle, right? Of the perpetrator, the victim, or the hero, the savior. And that it truly is entrapment in its simplest form. Anytime we are pulling ourselves and someone else perhaps into that triangle, or it's been done to us, that's where I'm breaking it down to that simplistic model to really walk through these steps,
Yeah.
um, you know, to make it as simple as I can for myself, because that entrapment, you know, of playing one of those roles in a story is just perpetuates imbalance and exhaustion, and the center point that is emerging. Before our phone call started, I could see the dodecahedron in the body, but it was multicolored and it was just spinning in and creating that 0 point, but it really was just streaming crystal rainbow colors, you know. So it's like, as we are, it's almost like the decision of that colorful, joyful body of wholeness is forging the correction, is leading the way out of entrapment. So I'm even called like less and less rumination, less and less self-examination. Just do it. Just do it. You
Yeah,
know?
just keep reminding myself about that, because um if you kind of fall off a little bit off the wave,
Yeah.
it's like then there's something ready there to, like, take you down. And it's easily done. And I'm like, and then your soul just like, "Shh, come back here." There's always
Yeah.
reminders that no need to go there.
Yeah.
It's a choice. It's a choice. Whatever we face or whatever we encounter, if it's heavy or whatever there is, like we said before, is like, yeah, there's a lesson in everything that we, if we
Mm.
don't like it, there's something for us to see. But it is our creation. It is our creation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the bit. It's all our creation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that realization um, is the core tone of the Immaculate Mother
Yeah.
within each one of us. And the way that works within each one of us, we talked about this, how when we trespass our intuition.
Yeah.
So I trespassed my intuition. I had a phone call that I didn't want to have, and it led to agitation of my peace, which is fine. I had to see it, but the mother, her voice, the voice of the Immaculate Mother is intuition and instinct. It's that tender sheath that is around you that says, you don't have to learn that lesson again. You don't have to go that way unless you really want to. Like, I'm not going to stop you. Take the phone call if you want, but you don't need to. You know what's in that phone call already.
Yeah.
It's trying to prevent all the wrong ways,
Yeah.
and it's trying to bring you the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's getting much, much. much clearer now and louder. And
Mm.
you see the results very quickly. And it's
Yeah.
quite painful. That's the thing that I've also experienced something recently. Like I've we talked about this, and
Mm.
um, it's just like you feel like you've cheated yourself if you don't listen to this, and then it's quite painful, and it shows up in the body straight away. So I like went down with a sore throat and like that for about 2 3 days until I picked myself up again
Mm.
and learned what I need to learn from this. But yeah,
Yeah.
we really need to listen. It's very loud. If we don't listen,
Yeah.
then it's very very loud, and it's not a punishment. It's just this is your creation.
Yeah.
Do you really want to do that and live with you know? Um,
Isn't that beautiful that we're able to come to coherence in that moment? We're able to say, like, to see the full side, the full-sidedness of our choices.
yeah,
That's really wonderful. That's
and it's
a
fast.
message.
Fast. What's
Yeah.
nice about it is that maybe
Mm.
before it would have taken us I don't know months of depression maybe.
Yeah. We'd
But now,
hold that imbalance for a long time because
yeah,
we felt guilt.
yeah,
And this emergence of, so trusting the Immaculate Mother allows the Shadow Mother to leave.
yeah,
And the Shadow Mother speaks the words of, you know, that people aren't safe, that people need to be protected, that the world is a scary place. So, and that has been within our consciousness as a means of survival, because those things, we could definitely say those things were true. But when as we have reclaimed our original, like I said, creator, gigantic mother blueprint, the queen of the slipstream, let's call ourselves the queens of the slipstream. It's like we're able to evolve ourselves out of that shadow mother consciousness now. And the child of the shadow mother is the narcissist. And the child of the Immaculate Mother is innocence and core strength. When we engage with people through with the Immaculate Mother by using our intuition, by holding our resonance body and continually inviting the way, as opposed to absorbing other people's wrong ways, because we're worried for them or we want to make it better because we love them. Um, the Immaculate Mother is like the mother of creation is a principle that's actually that is very accurate. And that accuracy is the love. That accuracy, when it now will be running through the heart and it will be felt, is felt as a crystal web of grace, like a weaving of an already formed way to be here without all the harm happening, without the war, without the starvation, without all the imbalance. It's like a perfect holding that does not weigh upon anyone in particular,
yeah,
which does not allow for any shadow or false imbalance. So this is actually how karma is ending. When people speak about the karma's ending now, well, that happens because each one of us, as the child of the mother, has to, as the seed of the field, has to contend with, oh, I keep calling for this
yeah,
because I'm not listening to my mother.
yeah,
Or like we're choosing our mother and who we are to her. And also then in our positions, we are we're also then refining who the mother is. So it's symbiotic evolution.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just and it's just nice to have that clarity now. Like you
Mm.
notice the patterns and you see them, and then you have a moment to yourself, a clear moment to choose. And that's
Mm.
what I think I didn't have before. It was all meshed up together and just thoughts and emotions and all that. There was a lot of noise. But now I think it's much calmer and much more clear, where, you see the pattern and you think, okay, this is what's happening. Do I feed it? Of course not. So then you say no, but then it's not a battle. It's just a loving presence, like you said. Just be there,
Mm.
still, be that love, but just don't feed it. Choose. I don't want that
Yeah.
in my experience anymore, and that's it.
Mm.
That's the end of it. Then there's nothing agitated, there's no conversation,
Mm.
there's nothing. If it's somebody else that's showing you that pattern, then there's
Mm.
nothing to talk about. It just ends there, and it's great.
Wow.
I love that.
Isn't that beautiful? And I want to speak to the, because this has been heavy for women. And after Queens of Peace, instantly my hormones changed. It went from, the hormones of a heavily pregnant woman who was quite stressed,
Yeah.
to the hormones of a woman who has given birth and she is in love with her baby, just like it's, there was a hormonal shift. And it showed me the importance of the hormones that we are giving the field as these, as the mother principles, off emanating a signal into the field. But I want to speak to what it has been for women as the weavers. We inherit, we inherit our, what's left of our mother's work, and through the matrilineal line. Um, Whatever is within the family constellation, the dysfunction, of the family is passed from mother to daughter, because it's a really beautiful thing. And this is the beautiful thing about the mother in all her iterations, whether it's shadow and super protective and highly stressed and adrenalized. There's so much beauty and love in that, because we are evolving the mother principle with tenderness and the respect and reverence of what she is. And I taking her out of this projected fantasy of what she has been, and in relation to every one of our viewpoint. The truth is, the mother principle is the weaver of the continuum. The continuum meaning continuous, meaning nothing can be left out. She doesn't get the luxury of, um, you know, when people do clearings and they just remove the thing from them. Where does that go? That just goes into the mother. The mother doesn't get to just la, 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 chop. The mother has to move along, evolve, rebirth, and hold containment. Transmute, I think people say. So that is the mother principle within all of us. That is for everyone. If we want to have a magnetic center of strength, we have to reclaim that function of taking the wholeness that we are and rebirthing it, clarifying it, and recognizing that it is only in wholeness that any healing happens. So
Yeah.
wanting to state with such strength, and like, as the baseline of this, everyone is to assert within their own lives, within their own standing, that there is nothing to fear, that all harm is invited, and from that point, see what you can make do with your dream, with your field of shadows becomes your field of dreams. Then from that point,
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah, I agree. It's
Mm.
honoring our shadow also, like you said, and um, bringing it to be transmuted, like you said, and just
Yeah,
transformed into something more beautiful, because it's time. It's time. We've had enough,
yeah,
I think so. So this is
mm.
what's happening, and I felt it also. Um, we're doing that physically also. Like for me, it happened
Mm.
gathering with me and my mom, my children, and it just felt like that. It's time for releasing the old, honoring everything about it, and holding it, and
Mm.
then creating the new. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and that was really beautiful. So I think we are doing it, and it,
I would love to kind of underpin that and then just let, just to open up a space for you at the moment, Rua, just to speak that after the Queens of Peace, when, the rest of us went home and, put our feet up, Rua went on an expedition to Syria
yes, no rest
because
for
that's
me.
that's what you do and you stay in 111 and you go and you take your tail to
Ah,
Syria. So I just
yes.
want to say that, like, because I joked when we came together, we were like big dragon tails. Like we had these ancestral, all the women, these ancestral drag nets. I said our dragon nets will become our dragon tails. Like you said, those shadows will become our infusion of our power, of our primordial truth, and all that matrilineal inheritance of everything we've had to carry will become that beautiful magnetic evolving seed of creation. So anyway, after our beautiful gathering, Brua went on and it was an expedition, like, let's use the right word, to Syria. So I just wonder if you want to just like tell us any of the stories, because you had some incredible moments during that. In-
I did.
Heartwarming.
Yes, it was quite. It was beautiful, really, to visit. Um, and the mind wants to put stories and put obstacles in the way and that, but it just felt like it's time to go, and it was very significant straight after, like the day after coming back from Ireland. So um, it had lots of magical moments, but um, there's a particular one that really um, speaks to me. Is like we went into a cemetery where my mother-in-law was buried, and and just shortly before that, my husband was telling me who is buried there. So this is like in the middle of, it's in Damascus, and it's one of the most significant um, graveyards or cemeteries there, and in it is like very significant, names from Islam, from the very early days of it, and you know, people who warred, people who fought together, but they were buried at the same place, and as we entered, it just felt like the warring is over, and there's no need for it anymore. And as I entered, I just felt this strong presence of the mother through me, and I just said, like, this is an announcement that the mother is back, and there is no need for war anymore. Anyone who, you know, who's strayed away from the light, come back, see the light. You're free. There's no need for this anymore. And then someone comes, and like the water is always connected. Someone comes and they splash this water on. So I was standing by my, mother-in-law's grave, and he just splashes water on it, and I don't see him, but I just feel the water coming. And first, when I was speaking about the light, the sun was like shining through the clouds, and I could feel it, could feel the heat of it. But then, as this happened, then the rain started like falling, and it just felt very significant. And shortly after that, we were talking to my father-in-law, and he was saying that he had a dream that my mother-in-law had come to him, and it was like a lucid dream. And she was saying to him, I'm I'm thirsty. Um, and and then he had an idea in the dream that he will go and get some bread and give it to the needy to kind of, you know, maybe um, meet that need. And within the dream, she answered. She said, "I am not hungry. I told you I am thirsty." And so, you know, kind of me and my husband look at each other and we feel, and I say to my father-in-law, this has been fulfilled today. She's not thirsty anymore. You know, with the water splashing and with the rain falling and with that just, you know, very strong presence of the mother. It was just, you know, all is well. That just how it felt. And that the warring in that land is going to end. Um, and all will be brought back into that, you know, center again to be, yeah, so we can recreate to the new. Yeah.
When you say that, I see this, knowing that the mother holds everything. So nothingness, that includes the unseen, any time, space, whatever. There's no distance because it's within the continuum and the mother holds the continuum. So witnessing you speaking that, with you as your whole blueprint of who you are on this earth, walking into a space like that, having the ability to invite, and it is a command, but it's all beautiful invitation, magnetic invitation. Uh, Knowing that you have the those words, like this is what's happening. These words are just coming out, and it's kind of like, where did they? These words aren't spoken. We can't see their reflection, but they're coming.
Yeah.
They're the Sophianic mother body speaking her truth again. It is the Immaculate Mother cleaning house,
Yeah.
putting order into what was created in her absence. And it is not fighting words. It is not fighting words, but they are not comforting words if people are in mistruth. But they are deeply comforting words for those souls wishing for innocence. And then the way of your delivery is so tender that I think it makes it easier for the souls listening to receive the invitation.
Yeah.
You know?
And sound always, it comes to me because it's all sound, you know, and humming was there all the time. Like from the minute I entered, I just started humming, and um, yeah, I just hummed all, you know, all the way through that, um, with some silence, but sound is always present and just bringing
Yeah.
back that original, you know, tone of creation. That's how it feels to me. Um, if you know, if you're open enough, it will just come through.
Mm.
Um, yeah. So all is well. It's here. We can have fun now.
It's so powerful. Like it's truly amazing to witness that we have been brought to the point where it is easier to believe in safety. Safety isn't even the word, just immaculate liberation, than it is to believe in shadow. And to know that we actually can now begin to have the presence of this and the words of it, to offer, to weave the invitations that are felt in others' bodies as safety, as authority of prime love song,
Yeah.
inviting all back into the primary love song.
Yes, and it's beautiful. The sound, what it can do is just magic. Like if we open up to it. And I love singing. So like I gathered with I've told you this before, like with my mom and my daughters, and I just felt invited to just ask them to hold hands, and we just sat, and I was just toning. But then as I started, then the intention kind of started streaming through. So I was like, okay, this is what we're doing. It's releasing everything that there's three generations here sitting together. Let's just, the intention is to release everything that doesn't serve us anymore and be open for the new. And I started toning, and then my mum joined, and my girls were being silly, and they were just like singing Le Boo Boo or whatever it is, but their voices were there, and it was just very magical. I loved it. I felt how significant it is, and my connection with Mother Mary at the end. I felt her presence, and I could see her, um, like presenting us with these beautiful daisy crowns for each one of us, like putting them on our heads. And I had a similar vision before on a plane, um, where we were walking on the grass barefoot, my mom and my girls, and like with the stream of water. I always love this dream, and then um, and I could see like these crowns appearing on our heads, as we were circling and playing and dancing. So these are the same crowns, like but Mother Mary had presented us with them, and that was really beautiful. There was lots of release, and so much laughter, because the girls were like going completely crazy and howling. And I was like, and I couldn't hold myself. I was just laughing. Yeah, it was magical. It was beautiful. Yeah.
When you speak that, I see, the trinity of the grandmother, the mother, and the daughter. And I just witness how we have, when I was speaking earlier about that unholy trinity of the victim, the perpetrator, and the savior. And I just, that trinity, that triangle of drama, we need that when we're outside of grace, when we're outside of our eternal song holding. Oh, excuse me. But that trinity of the grandmother, mother, and daughter is actually the braid that holds us inside of grace,
Yeah.
and it's like in every moment to know that we are the one rebirthing
Yeah.
whatever it is. We're here as the womb of evolution. Um, so, and this was what the Queens of Peace was about, was to remember to us the strength, and I mean integral strength, not something we made up because this is too big to wing it. You know, to remember to us the architectural blueprint inside in us that has the ability to do that, to evolve creation through our womb, to be the mothers of the continuum. Um, and the most beautiful thing that has happened, that is beautiful in itself, but that brought in the father's frequency, and it brought in the mother's frequency, and that heart of that first heart of creation, the magnetic and the electric, the mother and the father, the water and the fire, which is now feeling like intuition and passion. So that's what that looks like when it's in your body. Intuition and passion is water and fire brought to stabilization, brought to an actual function, as opposed to, thunder and lightning and, earthquakes and volcanoes. When it's brought to a steady streaming, it's intuition and passion. And those lines of water and fire are connected, of sound and light, are connected to the whole of creation. So with that beautiful reunion of the heart, that is in my mind and my knowing, um, for creating a space of co-regulation for everything, including people, animals, climate, um, everything. Everything that is born of the synergy of light and sound, which is everything. It's it's
Pretty much.
it's creating that co-regulation. I feel like a center of co-regulation in the womb of the Great Mother, and I can't believe I'm actually saying that. And because without that heart, that is the need for the shadow. That is the need for the spells of the curses of the contracts of the false triangles, the false geometry. That is the need for the claws and the holding in all the different ways. That heart, that reunified beginning heart of creation, is the heart that forms, that holds the field, that holds the intention and the tempo of the field, that brings heart coherence for the whole of creation. So
Yeah, it's fully active now, I think, isn't it?
yeah,
This is it.
yeah,
So it's beautiful, but it we're learning how
how to use it.
to go back to to how it should be.
I
And
know.
yeah, it's trial and error a little bit, and that it scares you a little bit. But no, it's
Yeah,
amazing to know that we have it all. It's
yeah.
yeah, you know, nobody's
Trial and error is right.
yes.
I'm so
Messing
grateful
it
we
up
can
at
talk to each.
times, but all in all, is going well.
I'm so grateful we could talk to each other though, to kind of, make sense, or, to hold the pillar for each other.
Yeah,
Um,
me too.
because that is important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very. Yeah, I'm so grateful.
Take it in turns to hold, to allow, but even just in the field between us, it just becomes clear. And there's lots of people holding that field. It's beautiful. Because
Yeah,
this is why it was always going to be a species evolution. Because the idea of a few people rising above, the heads and shoulders of others is completely unstable. It's had to be a species evolution because it's an evolution of our field, an evolution of our womb, our creational womb, and within the waters of the womb, which we are all within, everyone naturally, symbiotically evolves. So we hold it together. So when I witness, and I still witness it, myself and others, where we kind of hold a counterpoint, like a story of isolation, or a story of, I have to do this, I have to save this person, I have to, whatever, I have to. We are holding ourselves out of the evolution, like you said, this, like holding yourself out of the movement forward. So I'm just feeling a new sense, a level of trust in the blueprint, and therefore trust in the field, and trust in, if I just stick to my blueprint, um, that's the best possible chance of anyone else healing, or anything else healing itself.
yeah. That
Yeah,
that would be the greatest gift you can give anybody. Yes.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
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 You just like exhaled eons of weight there, like,
Are we exhausted already? Come on.
oh my God.
Oh,
My mother would say, "Get out and walk." Is what she used to say when people were trying to kind of, claw, and she'd like, "Get out and walk." It's like,
that's a good idea. Yes.
yeah, just like, and that's, yeah. It's we're there.
It's just
Um,
that I wanted to say that it's nice
mm,
to, that we're sharing, but also it's amazing when we share to see the, how everything is connected and that we're experiencing
Mm,
similar things in different ways. But once we
yeah,
voice them, then they make so much sense, and then there's
yeah,
more clarity over what's actually playing out, um,
mm,
and how we can now see it more clearly and
yeah.
make our choices. So, yeah.
That is the thing. The talking is everything. The being together, because we are in a very fast-paced, evolving, creational mode where we are, and it's continuous. Like it's never going to stop. The continuum mind, the evolution is moving. We were paused. We were very paused for
Mm.
for a long time. So now it's moving fast. So every correction that comes, um, it just it just keeps going with the flow, keep moving it along, and that pad the it's we're correcting our ovum, our pattern, our group dream seed. We're correcting it like instantly, so quickly,
Yeah.
you know. And if we can be light about it, all of the things like, because we can be dealing with people who've had serious issues for years and years and years, and we're wondering, how can I help heal this person? Or how can I help regenerate myself when I've been dealt with this all my life and stuff? But those concepts of accumulated damage um, are irrelevant, actually, because
Yeah, it's so
it's
easy
just like
for the,
a flick
yeah,
of a switch. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So
What's
we need to
missing?
stop. Yeah, I need to stop contending with accumulation as if it's relevant. It's not. I just realized that now. That's good.
Yeah.
That helps a lot.
No more
Because
violent dreams. Yeah.
because like yeah, exactly. Because sometimes like people come at you with this like, well, I have been this, and then you come back with, well, I have been this, and this weightiness of like, well, I've suffered for 50 years, well, I have suffered for 40 years, and yeah, that can be deflated now. I just see that deflating now in front of me,
Yeah.
beside me. It's not real.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's also related to what I was telling you before about, that, if if someone is feeling victimized or whatever, and you usually want to go and save them, and all you need to
Yeah,
do is just say, no, I'm not doing that anymore. you know,
yeah,
and lovingly, and that's it. It just
yeah.
dissipates it, and then I think you know, you're helping them also. Like you're not taking their
Mm.
power away. Then they can see that there's no need. What's all the drama about?
Yeah, yeah. This is wonderful. Um, okay, so I feel like what we have done is like we have been walking towards this, right? And we've gone through this birthing moment and everything is really set in place, right? We're on the homeward stretch. And it's all about fun and joy and love and connection and expansion. I would really I I will suggest this, and I don't know if this is something we will talk about or at this moment, but I'll bring it up in a way and see. So your first healing, well, I'm not going to call it a healing. Your our first connection, where you were offered the more openness of yourself, a reflection of yourself, and you know what I mean, the reclamation of yourself, because that's what they are. They're not really healings. Um, what came up in that was so powerful, and I just wondered, do you feel we could talk about that?
Yeah, I guess lead the way. Let's see what comes
Yeah.
out.
Okay. I'm being told, yeah, we're good.
Okay. Yeah.
You know. Okay. Okay. So what came up was, you know, Rua being of Damascus, and the rose came up, right? The Damascus rose. And, we are returning, and you spoke this earlier about seeing the roses on your body.
Yeah.
We are returning the portal points of the earth, of our body, of the constellation of all that there is, to the counterclockwise rebirth, regenerating spiral. Because we witnessed within our own bodies and in places within the earth that energy was being drained in a counterclockwise spin and actually taken off planet. And people have more information about that, but I'm working with the mother works with the resonance shield, so once that is contained, it kind of creates the correction. But so when we were together with your healing, we saw the thing came up about the beautiful architecture in Syria and how it all seemed to be centered around the rose.
Mm.
And the architecture was very much of the mother. And even though maybe the presentation of Islam at this time doesn't feel like that. So we were wondering, and the words came up, the mother of Islam, but then the mother of religion came up. And then the words just came up today of the mother of the tribes of Islam came up today as we were talking. And um, women have different permissions based on where they're from, who they are. It's inherited permission, right? So we all have a portal of something, but we cannot trespass within other people's places because, like I said, when I see women moving, their place is moving, their country is moving, their people are moving in their body. They carry everything. So the women of places are portal holders, and so this is why the queens must be contended with because they quite rightly hold permissions and they hold the sanctity of what they are to hold the sanctity of. And this is very real and very primal. This comes before all other gatekeepers. This is the mother's blueprint in form within women. And um, what I will say is in with um, Rua's portal brought us to Mecca. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know what's gonna come up with this, from me. There are no words forming, but all I want to say is that, my father's bloodline goes back to um, the prophet of Islam. So, um, this is something well known in the family that
Mm.
um, we're directly like related. So, um, I think that came up on that day as a something that I casually said to you, and then it just unfolded lots of things um, within that, which, it felt like a beautiful thing because then if I have that connection and then, this beautiful reclamation and healing is taking place, then it is flooding through everywhere, generations back and generations forth, and then it's correcting um, the patterns all the way. So everything that has been out of place will go back into place where it will just flow as it was first intended to.
Mm. Yeah, that's what we saw. You know, that that wormhole that was under Mecca was through your allowance returned to the counterclockwise, returning the energetics back to the people,
Yeah.
you know.
It feels huge. Still, the mind wants to like, nah, 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 but yes,
Yeah.
it does feel. I feel it in my body, and it's quite massive. And
Mhm.
yeah, let the let it ripple through, and
Yeah.
which it is, I know. But yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know what to say else about that, but
Well,
it
it's so
is,
simple, but
yeah,
it's game changing, but it's sad now.
yeah. That's the thing, and after that, that trip, um, then the working with the waters, and singing them back
Yes.
into you know
You did a lot with that, right?
life.
All
Yes,
the different wells
in the
they
summer.
do.
Yeah, it's just
Mm.
something that I felt called to do here. In I live in Denmark at the moment, and like um, just went to one of the places where there are 16, not 16,
Mm.
8 springs. um, that are not, they used to be known for their healing abilities,
Mm.
and but they're not being used anymore, or they're not recommended for drinking anymore.
Mm.
So I just felt that I'm just going to go and sing to these springs. I just go stand by the spring, and some of them were just like very, very small amount of water coming out. Um, and yeah, I just felt like doing that. So this is what it started, and then we went on a trip to Europe, and I just suddenly found myself next to a well, um, you know, doing a ceremony without planning it or doing anything. Like we stayed in Spain, which is very much connected to the Damascene, to the Damascus and to the Syrian, um, you know, culture, and because of the history of it, which I'm not going to go into, but it's all these. We stayed in a house which is like a Damascene house. It was like a Syrian style old home, and within it was a well. And yeah, I just found myself. It's not something that I usually do. This was probably my first in this lifetime ceremony, and so I was lighting a candle, and I was going like counterclockwise, circling it and singing,
Mm.
and that. So there was a lot of that, and there were lots of um, because it's a place where all the religions are present, and so all the symbols of the religions, um, kind of, I was witnessing them, um, and it just felt like anything that was misused with these symbols or whatever will be brought back. So there was all the three main, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism was there, like in the old streets, and
Mm.
um, so that was magical. Um, and one of the themes that also um, came up was, there was a little girl that was just. We were in Belgium, in Antwerp, where I also found some wells, and I was singing to them on the streets, and my girls were running away because they're thinking, oh, we don't know her. So there's lots of tourists, and I'm like, oh. And oh my God, she started singing again, and then they will just go. And so as I was doing that, there was a little girl, um, like probably not even 4 years old, just skipping
Mm.
in the streets, like on her own. And we were walking by, and I was just looking for her mother. I couldn't find anybody, and I just couldn't let her go. Like she was very happy, she did not show any signs of being lost or stressed or anything. And she was skipping and all that, and she just went into one of the shops, and she was calling in one of her parents. I'm assuming that shop is for her family. And she just skipped her way and picked one of the things up from one of the stands outside, and was playing, and all is well. And so when I went back, like in the evening, I just had this rising in me to say that the children are now safe again.
Mm.
It all is well, and they are okay. This is one of the
Wow.
corrections that is also taking place. So this was it. This was the journey from that that started maybe with our healing, and then
Yeah.
it continued, and it just then more and more unfolds every day. But yeah, it's
Yeah, I remember when you were over it. I remember messaging you. I was like, Rua, I need you. And I think it was to do with the children. I can't remember the words, but I remember feeling overwhelmed. And you're like, oh, I'm traveling around, and you were doing the same directive, you know. So this is the use of the water and this just impulsive way we behave, like to do these ceremonies, to do these things. It is all written and encoded, and it's like it's encoded within our, I guess, within our DNA. I know, and it's like it's just rises up and we do it. But it feels very much like a divine directive of one, you know, because everyone's stories are so interconnected, and that we all just start with, you know, do the counterclockwise spin, and like you said, collapsing the false meaning of the symbology, and all of these things are the things that the women are all we're all doing and have been doing. Um,
yeah. Most of it, I'm just oblivious of what I'm doing.
doing it,
Like you
yeah.
said, it's just
Yeah.
so like an impulse in a moment, and I have like one clear moment of what that is, and then I'm you know then my
Before you
day
know
it
it.
just continues normally. I'm cooking and I'm God knows what,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's
So it feels like to be what we need at this time is just to be in that place of self acceptance and bliss. Like, and I always said that the golden age would be born through bliss. It would not be hardship. And there was some hardship, don't get me wrong, but there was a lot of heaviness and heavy lifting and isolation and frequency fences, keeping people separate and things. Um, but also protection. So, you know, if you think of, you know, if you are the hidden one, and maybe the people around you, it feels like they attack, but maybe they're the barbed wire, you know, that keep everyone else out, as well as, you know, what they do on the inside. So there's always been preservation with all shadow, and all distortion has been about preserving. I had a man message me recently, and he said when he heard me, um, it's like as if a voice came that had been preserved for this time. And I feel this when I'm with the women, with, you know, when I feel, and I know there will be more talking, more, you know, I feel this sanctified voice, this voice, this presence that has reclaimed its sanctity, and it's speaking with pure authority.
yes, I feel that too coming
Mm,
through me, like
yeah,
yeah, like
yeah.
that, what I said, it's like, yes, when I'm present. I'm like, what? Just things that just
Yeah.
come up, and we say them with such confidence, and then the mind is like, what are you boasting or
Can
something?
you say
What?
that?
Can you say that?
Apparently, yes.
Yeah, yeah, it's just coming
Yeah.
through, and it's amazing to witness, yeah, and get used to,
It's
I
yeah.
guess.
I guess this is it. But we have reconnected through our efforting. We have been reconnected into the Sophianic weave of one. This is why we feel so much authority in our voice, and why we don't feel the hesitation so much anymore. Why we feel the uprising. We women were bound artificially to the moon, and to, you know, the rising of the tides and the filling of the moon, and the our presence was, let's say, unstable. It was fluctuating. Our levels of energy were fluctuating based on hormones. So truly what has happened with this, like, remembrance of the solar blueprint, is this the hormones of steadiness, the hormones of bliss, and the interconnected, not that psychic astral interconnected circus, you know, like women sending their little psychic attacks and all of that stuff, all of that, goodbye. Now we have this gorgeous interconnected song. And like, I stand here in my mountain house and I can hear the women in the wind.
Wow.
Like I can feel, and I have a foggy day. I go out, I said, oh, wonderful. There will be lots of messages in the fog. And I can feel it coming in from the Atlantic. And I know that what is I need to hear is carried to me through the wind, through the crystal, through the mycelium, I can put my feet on the ground and I can hear the voices. Now I can hear the web. It's we have been released, we have released ourselves from that lunar cacophony. And in the doing of that, we have reclaimed the sanctity of the field, the immaculate Sophianic love song of the field.
Yeah.
And it is a love song. And that's becoming more and more prevalent. Like, how do you end war? You don't just stop and sit on a fence. You flood the place with love. That's how you end war. You flood it. You flood the field with the hormones of love so that people don't have the energy for war because they're so blissed out. you know?
And you sing to them.
Yeah. You
So
know
many
the
sounds. Shall we?
yeah.
Okay, let's
Yes,
do some
please
some.
do. I'm gonna
I'd
just
love one of
receive
your
what
opera moments also.
I don't know that I have anything to birth at the moment. That very loud sound is like the opening of the birth canal.
Yes,
So
very
I think I'm just gonna
powerful. I
sit
mean, I
back
know I
and
say opera,
and
but
res
it's very powerful. It's
yeah.
beautiful.
I'm just gonna receive. I
Yeah,
don't think I need to
okay.
open.
Don't know what's coming, but here we go.
Mm. That was a very deep spiraling, and something has been cleared from an internal channel that I feel a very I feel like that central pillar that I was talking about that had grounded, that the mother's pillar, that feels like it was carried truly, if this is what the words, like as if there were a main core Sophianic like dragon pillar,
Yes.
like a spine. Did you feel that?
Yes, I felt everything. It was absorbing everything because the tones that came through, some of them were very Eastern, um,
Mm.
kind of Arabic um, at the beginning, and then it was pulling in from all the different, you know, cultures and all the different
Mm.
places. Even the indigenous, a little bit of it came through, and that's how I felt. And it was just like a bringing it all back into the center, and just to be beautifully neutralized and combined together, and then it's then immaculate. It's all beautiful now.
I've seen, and I was researching this and on the trail of this, and in my past, when I had to work in isolation, I would really go after things like in a dragon-esque capacity, right? I traveled as a dragon, and last night I was on the trail of this thing, and I said, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm just gonna, rest and wait for the graceful way. And now what just came through your singing is what I was looking for, actually, which I said, no, there's a graceful way. It will come, you know. And what I saw is that, and I don't know how to fully explain this, but like the base point, like that pillar that came to ground had to spiral through the spiraling heart of the earth, but it also had to go through and create almost like a geyser. Is that the word? A geyser, like a the fountain. It had to create this fountain like down that could go up again, and that's what I saw just happening there. That like that seal, that there was a seal at the base that was just unlocked and reclaimed back into the Sophianic song of the mother. So,
Beautiful.
and beautiful confirmation that we are within the next iteration of ourselves. Togetherness, grace, you know.
Celebration. Celebration time.
The sun is all over your face right now.
Yeah,
It's
it's just
absolutely
reflected on a window,
gorgeous.
like in the next, although it's quite snowy outside, but
Is it
finally it's
snowy?
showing.
You're just glowing. Like I I feel like there's no more to say. I feel
Yeah.
like it's just this glow and this we have just shown, like you spoke of the sisterhood of grace, the queens of peace. What can be done when, yeah, when we just decide.
Yeah. Choose and remember. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rua.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you
So
so
much
much.
love.
So much love,
Take care.
everyone.
Bye.
Blessings. Please share if you felt the beauty of this as we did.